Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 135 for late February, early March 2020. That's right, it's a leap year this year, February 29th this weekend. Thank you for tuning into the program, whether you're listening on your local radio station or maybe you've streamed or downloaded Tech It Out as a podcast. Either way, I'm thrilled to have you along. And we do have a great show planned for you this week. We'll hear how you can listen to your texts and emails safely while behind the wheel. You'll learn about a gadget this hour that translates languages into your mother tongue. We'll explore the fun debate between the word GIF and JIF. What do you call those animated images that play in a loop? And find out how to properly tag your photos so you can find them easily on your computer. All of this and more on this week's Tech It Out, powered by ASUS. I'll tell you more about them shortly, but let's kick off this show. Here's a sobering fact. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that texting while driving can be as much as 6 times more dangerous than drunk driving. And this is a particularly more concerning stat for parents, as virtually all teens at 95% have a smartphone, compared to 60% of teens who say they consume alcohol. While in this case it sounds like technology is the problem, it may also be the solution as well, with products like Ping. Joining us on the line to chat is Garen Toren, CEO and founder of Ping, formerly Message Loud. Welcome to the show, Garen.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
Now, before we talk about Ping, I gave some stats that I think are a bit disturbing off the top. Tell us how bad of a problem distracted driving is today.
All of the studies that we have seen all have one thing in common, and they state that the crashes and fatalities caused by distracted driving are underreported. You know, if you're on your phone and you drive into the back of the Range Rover in front of you, you're very unlikely to say, yes, I was on my phone. At the moment, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, estimates that 25% at least of all auto crashes and fatalities in the USA are caused by smartphone usage.
Wow, okay. So now let's hear about Ping. What is it all about? It's an app, right?
So Ping is an app that allows a driver to hear their messages and email read aloud while they are driving. It's got an alone mode, which is when you're driving by yourself, in which case it will automatically read all your messages out loud because there's nobody else in the vehicle. And then it's got a passenger mode where it will announce the message, but you have to prompt it to hear that message read aloud. And we're talking about all message types in all languages. That's text message, Facebook Messenger, Twitter DM, Instagram DM, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, TikTok, Snap, Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Microsoft Exchange. All messages, all email types, all languages.
Wow. And this works with both iPhone and Android devices?
So we launched the Android app first, simply because we're a global business and the vast majority of phones globally are Android phones. We have an iPhone app approved by Apple. We've launched it internationally into a few select markets. It's very much a beta still, and it will be coming to the Canadian market in March of this year and to the US market in April of this year.
Oh, cool. Okay, good to know. I know there are other solutions that will read your messages out loud. I know there's CarPlay and Android Auto, the other third-party apps. So what would you say separates Ping from the rest? I understand you've announced Alexa support as well.
Yes, so we're the only cross-platform solution in the marketplace. We can do Android, we can do iOS, iPhone, and in fact, we just became the first Amazon Alexa skill, which allows an Alexa user to get all their messages and email read out loud. There are solutions like CarPlay, which can do text message and WhatsApp message only, nothing else. And I don't know if you read this, but Google's actually retiring Android Auto and replacing it with a driving mode within the Google Assistant. And now we're actually 90% complete with integrating with the Google Assistant. And we will be the first and only skill on to Google Assistant as well that can give you all your message types, all your email types in all languages.
Okay. So can you perhaps, Garen, walk us through how it works? Give us a sample scenario. Someone's driving down the road. Their hands are at 10 and 2 or 3 and 9, depending on where you went to school. But your hands are on the wheel, your eyes are on the road, and a text message, for example, comes in. What happens at that point?
Let's presume in this scenario that you're running navigation and you've got your phone in a cradle within eyesight. What will happen if you're in alone mode, in other words, nobody in the car, it will say, you have a new text message from Garen Torren, and then it will immediately begin to read the message out loud. You can configure which messages and for how long. So if I'm going on a long drive, maybe I want to hear all of that email. And if I'm going on a short commute, maybe it's just the first 15 seconds so that I know what's going on. And then the Ping app gives the driver a few options on the screen. Very, very large, easy to see buttons where the user can archive the email, they can skip to the next message, or they can call the sender. So if something is really urgent, your child is texting you from school and so on, you can hit the call button and you can phone them. We do not.
But Garen, we shouldn't be touching the screen while we're driving, though.
So the way that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration guidelines work, and this deals with touching anything in your car, whether it be your windscreen wipers, your radio volume dial, touching anything, as long as the touch is under 2 seconds, then it is considered safe and legal. And of course, we're not even a quarter of a second to hit that button, because replying via voice, many studies have shown that talking to either a person outside the vehicle, even a passenger, or dictating any kind of message is considered as unsafe as actually holding your phone in your hand. So we do not offer the ability to do a voice-to-text reply. It's just not safe.
Okay, so I use Android Auto, and when I get a text or a Facebook message or anything like that, it's read to me, and then I can reply using my voice. It's transcribed into text and then sent off. I don't have to touch anything.
So Google and Apple both offer those, even though the studies show that is considerably unsafe, and NHTSA actually advises against it in their guidelines. So we're erring on the commercial grade safety side of the spectrum.
All right. So, and this would be a similar experience for iPhone as well as Android.
Exactly the same. The Alexa experience is different, and because your Alexa light would turn on to let you know that you got messages, and then you are giving Alexa instructions. Hey Alexa, open Ping loud. Hey Alexa, read my Facebook messages. Hey Alexa, read my text messages, and so on. Because obviously Alexa doesn't have the ability to automatically read anything, nor is there any kind of visual interface for the Alexa skills.
So in that case, it's purely hands-free.
Correct.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why we did the Alexa integration and we're so excited about it is then it becomes a set and forget for Ping. You set up the app once, you link Alexa, and then you never have to touch it again. If you've got messages that are unread, then Alexa is waiting to read you those messages. If you read them, then Alexa will no longer see them as unread. So what we love about the Alexa solution is that it's a one-time setup, set and forget, and then all your messages are available for you upon command, as long as they're on your device and in an an unread status.
We're chatting with Garen Toren, founder and CEO of Ping. This is an app that delivers messages to you while driving safely. Finally, Ping, how much does the app cost? Is it a subscription model? Is it a one-time fee? And it is available at the Google Play Store for now and the App Store coming shortly, correct?
Yes. So if you do a search for Ping Loud in the Google Play Store, you will find it, or you can just search for read my text messages out loud, read my email out loud, anything like that. There is a 14-day free trial where you can use the fully featured app at no cost. Then it is $12.99 for year one and $19.99 a year thereafter.
Okay. I think that's quite reasonable, and it's a business expense for many as well. You could write it off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Is there a website where we can learn more about Ping and read more about its features?
Yes, you can go to pingloud.com, Pingloud, pingloud.com, or you can simply search for Ping Loud in YouTube. We actually have one of our videos which went viral and has actually got 6.8 million views already.
Oh, wow. Great chatting with you. Thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on the launch of Ping.
Thank you, Mo.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS, the company that creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, including its line of award-winning laptops, desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. So last month at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, I conducted this interview from the show floor about a cool wearable language translator called the Ambassador. So let me play that chat for you now. Well, congratulations to Sergio Del Rio from Waverly Labs. You won Last Gadget Standing, the coveted annual gadget contest. It's a pitch competition. Tell us about the product that won Last Gadget Standing.
Oh, thanks a lot, Mark. Basically, what we have is called the Ambassador. What it allows you to do, the pain itself, is that you can communicate with this device in 20 different languages and 42 different dialects, right? So let's say you want to speak French from Canada and translate to Peruvian Spanish, right? You set it up in the device. You can wear one device and share other devices with other people. You can have up to 3 people at the same time, up to 4 people at the same time in the same conversation, and you can go back and forth.
So I'm holding it right now. It goes over your ear. It's like a small little, looks like a Bluetooth headset, maybe a little bit bigger and rounder, but the idea is that this wirelessly communicates to a smartphone, right? Like an app. Is that right?
Right.
In order to take the language that you're speaking, upload it to your cloud, so to an internet server, and then it brings back down the real-time translation in your mother tongue.
Yeah, correct. And we do that as fast as possible because that's how you naturally communicate, right?
Yeah, we'll do a demo in a moment. So yeah, for sure.
So it's very accurate even in loud environments, right? Because it's only capturing sound from around your mouth.
So not only is this a little speaker for your ear, because it does clip over your ear, but it also has a microphone to hear your voice too.
It has 2 microphones, yes, okay. And it's capturing as clear as possible.
And then talk to us about some of the applications. On stage, I think you said there was 3 different scenarios that you can use this.
Right. You can do, the first scenario is listen. You can go attend a conference, attend a class, sit down, and everything they're saying in French, you'll hear it in English in your ears, right? The second case, it's lecture. You can put it on, and you can give a conference, pretty much like what I did over there on stage. Mm-hmm. So you can just be talking and talking and talking. Let's say they invite you to give a conference in Turkey. Whatever you say in English will be translated into the speaker sound of the auditorium in Turkish. And the final mode, converse, allows you to have a dialogue between 4 people. Each of them could be speaking a different language, and whatever I say, for example, in Spanish, will come out in French, in Italian, and Chinese at the same time.
Amazing. So just like we're doing now, so you have a conversation, let's say you have a business meeting in Beijing or whatever, and I don't speak a lick of Chinese, like Mandarin or Cantonese, then I can hear it in English in real time in a more intimate one-on-one or up to 4 people environment, that kind of thing.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, wow. Without further ado, I would love a demo of this, and then we'll talk when it's available and how much. I think when you said the price, the audience was pleasantly surprised because it sounds very affordable. We'll get to that in a moment. And it's out in March, right, as you're getting this set up?
Yes, yeah. We just finished the pilot production. We're just receiving the components, starting the mass production, and start, shipping. We did want to make it affordable, because at the end, if we want to destroy the language barriers, it has to be for everybody.
$199, by the way, as you're getting this set up, correct?
Yeah. And once you buy it, you don't have to pay membership.
One-time fee.
One-time fee, yeah.
Very reasonable. I'm chatting with Sergio Del Rio. He is getting ready to give us a real-time demo of the Waverly Labs Ambassador, it's called?
Yeah, it's called Ambassador.
Okay, so you're just opening up an app. You're choosing a language.
Right.
So show us what you're doing.
I'm going to choose Mexican and Spanish, because that's my favorite type of Spanish.
Okay, and I don't speak Spanish, so this is going to... So I've got this little device with me. Right. So we're going to hear in English what you're saying?
What I'm going to do for the sake of the radio interview, I'm going to play the lecture mode, so it's pretty much as if it was a conference, right?
Sure.
And the sound will come out from here, and you'll be able to record it in your speaker. If not, the sound will come directly to your ear.
Okay, great. So let's do it.
La intención de este dispositivo es que tú puedas hablar normalmente como si estuvieras hablando con un amigo, que no te tengas que preocupar por hablar despacio o hablar de manera más pausada. La intención es que tú hables como si supieras el idioma.
And I also noticed you were talking fast, so let's see if it works.
The intention of this device is that you can speak normally as if you were talking to a friend who does not have to worry about speaking slowly or speaking more slowly. The intention is that you speak as if you know the language.
Wow, that is pretty cool. So I know there are apps that can do something like that, like Google Translate, for example, but it is cumbersome to pull out the app. This clips over your ear. Is that one of the reasons why someone may opt for the Ambassador, or are there other advantages?
Yeah, there are many advantages. One, the first is the speed, right? Because you're compressing the audio a lot, and we're sending it as soon as you can to the cloud. And the other thing is, like, it allows you to converse with 4 people. With Google Translate, you have 2 people, and you have to be throwing the phone back and forth,
right?
In the meeting room, and you're limited to the size of the phone, to the speaker of the phone, right? If you have ever tried to have a meeting with Google Translate using your phone, it's a horrible experience, right? The other thing that we allow you to do is to give a conference and attend a conference. Like, you couldn't be using Google phone, sit down with your phone and try to translate whatever is happening in the conference.
In a big room, it won't work. But if the person who's speaking has one of these devices over their ear, then it would work very clearly, right?
Yeah. The thing is, this gives you more power to project your voice.
Amazing. Yeah. And then finally, speaking of Google, I know they also had demonstrated, I think 2 years ago now, they have their buds, their Pixel buds, a similar demo, and then only later to be revealed that it was a little bit smoke and mirrors. It doesn't really work as advertised. How does your product compare to what Google is doing with their Pixel buds?
Right. I mean, I think Google is a fantastic company. I'm still waiting for them to come out with a good solution. Intended to be. It feels for me that was more like a marketing push. We have to have something in the market now. But they have the capabilities. I think it's very important to put the user in the core of your development and not only do technology for the sake of technology.
Okay, thank you so much. That was fantastic, Sergio. So it's called the Ambassador. The company is Waverly Labs. It's available in March for $199. And what's the best website to learn more?
WaverlyLabs.com.
WaverlyLabs.com. Thank you so much. Gracias. Merci. Okay, I'll stop it right there. Thanks again.
Muchas gracias.
All right, we'll return on Tech It Out with GIPHY. Stay with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out on the Radio America Network. Hey, you know those popular animated images on social media or in your Messages app or on the web? They're called GIFs, right? GIFs. Or is it pronounced GIFs? Well, the debate has gotten a lot stickier. Literally, as JIF, the peanut butter company, is releasing a limited jar of JIF or GIF peanut butter in collaboration with GIPHY, a popular GIF search engine, to smooth out this debate, if you will. Joining us to chat about this fun partnership is Pamela Thomas, Director of Brand Partnerships at GIPHY. Welcome to the show, Pam.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. I'll try to hold back on the peanut puns for this interview. But before we talk about this fun campaign with JIF, the peanut butter company, let's first bring everyone up to speed, Pamela, on what a GIF is. Or is it a soft G? Is it JIF?
So at GIPHY, we say hard G's for hard G's. I don't know who started it, but we've been saying it for years. So That's how we say GIF here because it is GIPHY. But as far as how you pronounce it, it doesn't really matter because we just want everyone to be using them.
All right. I think I remember reading once that the guy who invented the GIF calls it GIF, and he's like, hey, I invented it, so I'm telling you it's a soft G, but I think everybody calls it GIF with a hard G. But it's fun that you're having a good time with this debate with the GIF peanut butter. But before we get to that, what is a GIF? So I said earlier, it's kind of like an animated image that you may see online or share. Can you elaborate a bit since it's radio and explain what we're talking about?
Yeah, so a GIF is just a short animated video with no sound that loops. We say that we're constantly looping here at GIPHY, so a perfect GIF should like have this perfect loop. And yeah, you'll see them anywhere from, like you mentioned, messaging, like one-to-one messaging, social media. They're kind of everywhere now, which is great for us. But most people have probably sent or received a GIF at this point, but they might not have known what it was.
Right. Yeah. I'd argue they're becoming almost as popular as emojis. So definitely it's a way to express yourself, and they're a lot of fun as well. So tell us about GIPHY then. I called it a GIF search engine. Is that fair?
Totally. That's a great way to describe us. We've kind of evolved past that being around for about 7 years into short form video, stickers. We have GIF emojis as well. It's kind of like pushing the boundaries in the ways we can animate different types of content.
And how do people access GIFs on GIPHY? Because I think if I go to Twitter and I click GIF, that is an option. I think it could pull it in from your search engine, right?
Totally. That's one way a lot of people will discover us. Another way is we have our own GIPHY website, app, and keyboard as well. So a lot of places that you're already accessing these GIFs, you can access GIPHY. In addition to that, you mentioned Twitter. We're also on Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, kind of anywhere you might use a GIF. It's probably powered by GIPHY, which is how a lot of people are discovering us.
Okay. And then the website is just giphy.com if you did want to access it directly. That's GIPHY.
Exactly.
Pamela Thomas is our guest. She's the Director of Brand Partnerships at GIPHY, the GIF search engine. Now let's pivot and talk about this campaign with JIF, the brand of peanut butter. Sounds fun. Nutty, if I may. Sorry.
Totally. Yeah. So our CEO, Alex Chung, has wanted apparently to do this since he thought of GIPHY in general, because as you mentioned, the debate JIF versus GIF is constant. It's kind of never ending. Even if you try to end it, it'll like come back up in some way, like whack-a-mole. So he had always mentioned this was like a really great thing that he wanted to do, but we just didn't know the right people to reach out to or like how to do it without kind of forcing it. And this naturally evolved from like, I think one of his contacts or one of like a revenue contact, something like that. And we kind of met with the Smucker's team, I think back in September, and just like sat down like, hey, what's something cool we could really do? And it evolved in many different forms, but into finally like, hey, let's create this kind of jar that has both sides of the debate. And then we'll also create content alongside it where people can then kind of join the conversation or, you know, take their stance on the debate. And it really evolved into something like far more than we ever would have like thought about. I think originally it was like, oh, we'll just have a hashtag and like some GIFs, and now we have these custom jars and all sorts of different assets that people can like use on Instagram stories and in messaging to talk about this, again, never-ending debate, which is kind of funny, like how much excitement, not just internally, has kind of rallied around this.
So it's new packaging that's still the same peanut butter, but on one side it's spelled GIF with a hard G or GIF, and then the other one is JIF, which is really what the product is called with a soft G. And it's just, you're just having fun with that, with the double-sided packaging. And then on top of that is the social element where you can share a virtual version of that label that I saw on Amazon today, for example, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they even did we collaborated to do some really fine details. Like if you look at the ingredients, they don't say what's actually in peanut butter anymore. They say like face palm if you say GIF, instead of with GIF, you get like head nods and fist bumps. So really like every element of the jar has its own kind of like element of either the GIPHY brand or the JIF peanut butter brand, which was really cool to see that evolve. And then those same elements are kind of played out in the different GIFs and stickers we created.
Yeah, got it. As a geek, self-professed nerd over here who has been covering the tech space for over a quarter of a century, I think it's awesome that online culture, social media, things like GIFs has become so mainstream that it's now part of pop culture, where you're changing the label of peanut butter, a household item, you know, that moms may pick up off the supermarket shelf or something. I think it's really cool that it's gotten that popular. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. But throughout the coverage today, one of the best things that, well, at least I think I saw was like choosy memes, choose GIF, which is just a play on like the GIF tagline that was choosy moms, choose GIF. So it's like really taken on a life of its own throughout the day. And I think we'll just continue to see that.
All right. So I mentioned I saw it, the packaging on Amazon, but is it available in supermarkets across the country?
So it was exclusively on Amazon. It actually sold out very quickly earlier today. So right now, last I heard, it's only available on eBay, unfortunately. But I know that because it was so popular, not just with like press and everything, but without consumers, they're looking to see if they can do like a secondary launch or what that might look like. Just because I think there was not this much anticipated excitement around the jar itself. But yeah,
it does say currently unavailable. I am on the Amazon website. Good for you.
Very
it's a good problem to have.
Exactly.
All right, so stay tuned. So where can we learn more about it and see if you are able to buy it again online or a retailer? Is there a website you'd recommend to check it out?
GIF.com/GIF versus GIF has kind of like the backstory and like the history around the argument and some kind of examples of how that has evolved into its own thing. And then for the content, if you want to join into the different conversations happening, it's GIPHY.com/GIF. And both of those will have just more information and context around kind of the updates and what's happening.
Okay, sounds like a lot of fun. And I was going to say, this is clearly your jam, but I don't want to go there. Thank you so much, Pamela, for your time. All the best.
Thanks so much.
You're listening to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS. I'll tell you more about them when we return, and we'll also catch up with Tag That Photo. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. I'm so honored to have ASUS as the title sponsor on this program. Of course, you know ASUS for their awesome laptops like their VivoBooks, their sleek ZenBooks. They also have Chromebooks and many other PC accessories. They also have a gaming line called Republic of Gamers. If you're a hardcore PC gamer, you know all about them. I actually recorded and produced this entire show you're listening to on an ASUS laptop, a ZenBook Flip S. So fantastic company. Love their gear. And once again, I'm privileged to call them my partner on Tech It Out. So thank you for your ongoing support. The great thing about digital photos is that you can have a virtually unlimited number of them on your hard drive, for example, as storage is super cheap today. But what about organizing all those memories? It could be a real pain to find something you're looking for. And so we're going to learn now about Tag That Photo. It's a new piece of software that we're going to hear about with April Ganong. She's the Chief Marketing Officer, or CMO, at Tag That Photo. Thanks for your time, April. Good to chat with you.
Thanks, Mark. I'm really happy to be here.
So it's been said that good technology solves a problem. So what would you say is wrong with how we organize and view our digital photos today?
Well, as you said in your lead-in, we do have hundreds, if not thousands, of photos that we're trying to organize. And, the problem is people are handing over these photos to cloud providers, and they're often not realizing that they don't own the tags, also known as metadata, including how that photo might get used or shared by that cloud provider. So, and we get it. Not everyone is worried about it. The tech companies have made it super easy to take the photos, share them, and store them. And of course, human nature, we take the path of least resistance. So they make it easy by pushing the photos and data to the cloud. And you've effectively given them the keys to that photo's future when you do this. And, like we say, sometimes Facebook and Google know more about your family and friends than you do. So we see that as it's a big problem, and how our privacy is protected online is a challenge, as we've seen even for big companies. One of the more disturbing breaches that was reported a few weeks ago involved an app that was designed to help parents share their videos and photos of their newborn child with other family members. It's said to be extremely secure, and you can feel really safe using it. Unfortunately, what was exposed was that these private newborn photos and videos were available pretty much for anyone who stumbled across the server, which was cloud-based. And the information that was being gathered was also date of birth and the location and parents' email addresses. So, our target is the group of people who really want to be in control of their personal information, and they also want technology to help them organize all of those photos.
So that's some scary stuff, by the way, and a lot of people don't know about it. But we often trade, I guess, convenience for privacy. We love
exactly.
the ability, just upload and share away. So I'm assuming then that Tag That Photo is more of an offline solution. And I have played around with it just so the audience knows. You were nice enough to send me a code about a month and change ago in the middle of the holiday season and then the Consumer Electronics Show. So I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it is a piece of software I installed on my laptop. So please tell us what Tag That Photo is all about and how it differs from this online or cloud-based solution that we just chatted about.
I'm happy to do that. And, we do recognize that, there's a good proportion of the population, especially the younger generation, that has grown up, with social media and photos being, literally at their fingertips 24/7. However, we're for that user who has become aware that there is value in their data and there's value in preserving their privacy. So for all those reasons that I described just a few minutes ago, helping users and helping people keep control of those photos and the information is a top priority for us. We also deliver that super accurate face recognition technology to the desktop. And this is a level of technology that's usually available from a major cloud photo platform. It's a level of technology that's more advanced, extremely accurate. And how we manage the metadata is a real differentiator for us as well, because we don't lock you into a proprietary database. Instead, we embed it directly into the images using industry standards. So this means that your tags are in that photo. They remain intact even if you aren't using Tag That Photo. If you load your photos to a cloud-based app, it's the app that owns the metadata. So that's a big difference between us and some others.
All right. So just to break it down in plain English, when you add a tag to a photo, you're adding keywords that let you easily find it. So you could tag a photo by saying something like beach or 2010 or daughter. And then when you do a search by keyword, you're able to better find those images. Is that what we're talking about mostly? And then with facial recognition, your technology can identify a person. You give it a name like, I don't know, Jacob, who's like my oldest son. And then it'll go through the rest of the photos and add that name to that face.
Exactly. And, to elaborate a little more on your example, if you had Tag That Photo had scanned all of your photos, you could do, an advanced search for Jacob. You could limit it by date. You could even limit it by location. Let's say he's graduating from high school and you want to do a slideshow or a book. Really fast and easy to do it with Tag That Photo.
I was going to say my older two, including Jacob, I have twins. They are graduating from high school this year. So how did you know that?
There you
go. you must be looking at my photos on a cloud account that's sharing my details.
I'll never tell.
We'll continue chatting with April Ganong from Tag That Photo when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us for the second half of the interview.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with April Ganong. She is the CMO at Tag That Photo. This is a desktop application for Windows users that also will support some photos you may have in the cloud, but it lets you easily tag your photos so you can find them. It has a facial recognition feature, which I'm going to ask more about in a moment. And it's also a photo viewer. Is that right? I mean, Tag That Photo also lets you see your pictures. It doesn't just let you tag them. And does it let you edit them?
No, we do not edit photos. We do feel like there are some fantastic options for users out there. And we really are focused on bringing to the table the most advanced technology in face recognition and building that kind of non-proprietary solution for people. You can view your photos. When you do a search, for example, you may come up with 30 or 40 photos. You can click on the viewer and you can scroll through those. And I'm going to give a little tag to one of our partners known as JAlbum, where we have a partnership with these guys, and they're kind of like-minded like us, and they're really concentrated and focused on privacy, and they have an application that makes it super easy for users to create online web-based albums for sharing. But they actually work really well with how our tags work. So that's another way that you can use Tag That Photo for sharing. And I do want to clarify just a bit. I mean, we really are we're a Windows desktop application. We do not have an online application. Where the online would come in is, again, through the control factors that we keep in the hands of our users. There's a segment of the population that wants to do offline photo management. This includes millions of Picasa and Windows Photo Gallery users who are looking for that path forward. And what I mean by that is, for example, a Picasa user can't actually transfer their tags into Google Photos. And Picasa is a Google application. Another example would be Adobe Lightroom Classic users. They can't transfer tags into the Adobe Creative Cloud. So we give these users a path forward by importing and preserving the tags so they don't lose those, hundreds, if not thousands of hours sometimes spent organizing their photos. I mean, it can really add up.
Talk to us a bit about the facial recognition tech. I believe it is patented.
It is.
Right?
It is. We hold multiple patents in both the U.S. and in Canada. It automates the tagging process, which is really important when you have those tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of photos. We use machine learning algorithms that start to cluster like-looking people together. So people who have similar features are going to be grouped together, and then suggestions are made based on names that you, as the user, would have entered. So this means that tagging is faster with a lot fewer keystrokes. I guess to say it more simply, the more faces that a user tags, the smarter that Tag That Photo gets at recognizing the faces and then suggesting names, thus the automation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question is, how much does Tag That Photo cost, and where can we learn more about it?
Well, you can go to tagthatphoto.com, and you'll learn all that we've talked about and then some more. And getting started is really easy. As I said, we're a Windows application. We offer a free 30-day trial with no credit card, so no commitment. We want you to want to use us. So you would simply go to our website, click the green Try Now button at the top of the page, and you'll download and install it locally on your desktop or laptop. Select the folders that you want it to scan, and then Tag That Photo starts chugging away, and you can start adding names to faces. For subscribers in the U.S., plans would start at $49 annually.
And tagthatphoto.com is the website to learn more. Thank you so much for your time, April. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mark.
April was nice enough to offer everyone a 25% discount on a paid subscription. The discount code will be TECH25, and that discount will be valid through to the end of March. So you have the full 30-day trial before you purchase it, and then you get 25% off using the code TECH25, one word, TECH25. A huge thank you to the title sponsor of this program, ASUS, creating technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. Hey, if you're listening to this show in podcast form, feel free to leave a review. Just click the star rating in your favorite podcast platform. Feel free to share it with friends or colleagues or family members who you think would benefit from it. And don't hesitate to reach out. I'm all over social media at Mark Saltzman. That's Mark with a C, SALTZMAN. Let me know what you think, any guests you'd like, recommended product reviews, what have you. I'm all ears. Thanks so much for tuning in to Tech It Out, episode 135. Have a great rest of your weekend. Speak to you next time. Bye-bye for now.